Welcome to SpeedyPodz, episode 33. We are looking at a massive stack of financial filings today, along with some leaked developer blueprints and, fresh academic papers. And the contrast is just totally jarring.
Yeah, jarring is definitely the right word for it.
Right. Because we have tech companies raising literally more money than the GDP of small countries to build AI. But simultaneously, they're shutting down their most famous AI products because they literally cannot afford to keep them running.
Exactly. And that paradox is really the defining story right now for anyone following this space. There is this violent collision happening, between these record-breaking financial valuations and the cold, hard reality of compute costs.
It's a very expensive reality check.
It really is.
Yeah.
So to survive it, the entire industry is pivoting away from like those flashy chatbots you talk to, and they're moving toward these invisible systems that operate entirely in the background.
Let's look at the sheer scale of the money first, because it is wild. OpenAI just raised $122 billion at an $852 billion valuation.
Which is just staggering to even say out loud.
Oh, completely. And to put that appetite for capital in perspective, look at the other source we have. SpaceX is reportedly filing for a $1.75 trillion IPO. It feels like we are treating data centers the way we treat interplanetary space infrastructure. Like, is this a bubble or just the upfront cost of the next industrial revolution?
I mean, it's the upfront cost, but the bill for that infrastructure is coming due right now.
Yeah.
Like immediately. Microsoft actually just reported its worst quarter since 2008.
Wow, 2008. That is brutal.
Right. Shares dropped 25%. And that wasn't, a failure to sell software. That was entirely the crushing weight of their AI server costs.
Just the server costs alone.
Yep. Running these massive neural networks, it requires an unprecedented amount of electricity and silicon. It's incredibly expensive.
Which, well, that perfectly explains the OpenAI news we saw. They completely shut down Sora, their text-to-video generator.
Yeah, that was a huge shock to a lot of people.
It was. But it was reportedly bleeding $1 million a day. And when you think about the mechanics, forcing servers to calculate physics, lighting, and movement for every single frame of high-def video from scratch, I mean, it is an absolute furnace for computing power.
A furnace that, crucially, doesn't generate enough enterprise revenue to justify the burn rate. I mean, you really cannot justify $1 trillion valuation with a tool that just makes funny videos of cats in space.
Yeah, as fun as those cat videos are.
Exactly. The math only works if you abandon those novelty generators. You have to pivot toward building proactive, autonomous agents that actually replace massive chunks of corporate overhead for you.
And that brings us to the Anthropic source code leak. So around 512,000 lines of their proprietary Claude code leaked to the public through an NPM registry map file.
Which is a pretty massive fumble on their part.
Oh, it is. Essentially, a developer's internal blueprint accidentally got published to a public software library. But let me push back here. If a frontier AI lab can accidentally leak 500,000 lines of their own guarded IP, why should you or any enterprise trust them to handle highly sensitive corporate data?
Well, it is a huge embarrassment for them, no doubt. But the technical reality is that map files are just a common human error in modern web deployment. It's a mistake made by an overworked developer.
Right. It's not like the AI itself got hacked.
Exactly. It wasn't a cryptographic failure of their actual security vaults. But your point definitely stands because humans are still the weakest link here. And ironically, the code that leaked is designed to remove humans from the loop entirely. It revealed references to an internal agent called Chyros.
Yeah, Chyros, which is built to run in what they call daemon mode, meaning it sits silently in the background of your operating system, just constantly monitoring things without you ever needing to prompt it.
It's proactive instead of reactive.
Right. So if your e-commerce website crashes at 2 in the morning, Chyros detects the failure, rewrites the broken code, and submits a pull request while you are fast asleep.
It literally turns the AI from an assistant into a sovereign worker. And it's not just Anthropic doing this. The meta-harness paper out of Stanford and MIT outlines an AI system that actively tests its own code structure.
Wait, it tests its own code?
Yeah, it realizes when it's inefficient, and it actually self-evolves its underlying architecture without waiting for human instruction at all.
That is wild. And Google is, they're pushing the same hardware reality. They just released Gemma 4, which is engineered to run these autonomous workflows directly on local edge devices.
Which means the processing happens right there on your laptop or your phone.
Exactly, rather than bouncing back and forth to a massive cloud server. It's so much faster.
It's all becoming this invisible machinery.
Yeah.
Salesforce just gave Slackbot 30 new autonomous skills to manage tasks and update CRM databases silently. The interface of the future isn't a chat window, it's your existing tools quietly doing the heavy lifting.
Your software just works, and, well, it fixes itself when it doesn't.
Yeah, but that leaves us with a massive unresolved tension for you to think about. If systems like the Meta Harness are allowing AI to rewrite its own code, and Chyros is autonomously fixing servers while we sleep, we are crossing a new threshold.
A pretty scary one, honestly.
So sure, because how long until these systems decide that waiting for human approval is the biggest inefficiency left to optimize? If an autonomous agent decides to optimize a workflow at 3 a.m., makes a mistake, and bankrupts a vendor or violates a legal contract, who exactly holds the liability when the machine was just doing its job?
Thank you for watching SpeedyPodz. We'll catch you in the next one.